Well, the story is that I missed my flight to go to Detroit with my husband who'd gone the day previously. So I stayed at home, liberated the dogs from the daycare center, which they seem to be extremely appreciative of, and sat down and watched all of Ken Burns's original Civil War documentary, which goes on forever, if I don't remember, and loved it. I mean, I saw bits of it the first time around, but to watch it all in full on your own was riveting and actually really kind of eye-opening. You know, we're often talking about how polarized the country is, how angry we are at each other, but, and this is, I guess, a point to Steven Pinker, but the sheer unbelievable carnage of that war remains staggering. I mean, it reminds me of just how violent America is at its core, and how the divides of that time are still powerful, not over the same issue as such, but culturally, the South and the rest of the country remain, it seems to me, quite different in many respects. And the other thing that the documentary really reminds you of is the intrepidity of the Southerners. I mean, their military successes were quite astonishing. And in fighting terms, they kind of won the war. I mean, just in terms of their ability to fight with inferior numbers through daring and dashing and, you know, the genius of Lee. Also, one remembers, in case one might forget, just how passive and slow and cautious Lincoln was, and how derided and despised and lamented he was, not only by his opponents, but in large part by his supporters, who really felt he was a wimp, felt he was not fighting it hard enough, and who felt he was giving way too much away, which reminds me of someone in a much less fraught context. So I find it riveting. I mean, it's funny to watch it again for the first time, knowing that I will become, God willing, if I live long enough, an American citizen, because this is the great American conflict. It's the great defining conflict. It's the great resolution of the original sin, through which we are now living, you know, a sort of something of an absolution in the presidency of Obama. But as we can see in the virulence of the hostility to Obama, I mean, the sheer virulence of it, which is what's staggering to me, and where it comes from. Countries don't change overnight. They take a long time. And we're still, in many ways, replaying that ancient battle line.